Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a judge granted a request by Diddy Combs to speed up his appeal. And a big night for Democrats in key races across the country, with candidates projected to win in New York City, New Jersey, and Virginia.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here on this November 5th, 6 o'clock this morning. And Megan, it might be a good day to get out that scarf, get out a coat, because it's a bit chilly outside this morning.
It is a bit chilly outside this morning. Thankfully, though, that trend is not lasting all day long, as we have chances for 70s later today. Let's talk about this morning, though, as some folks, and in fact most folks, are sitting in a range of the 30s. Take a look. 39 in Williamsburg, London, 32 at that freezing point in Clintwood, Grundy, and Jonesville. Now, what you'll notice is some folks are a little bit warmer than others, and that's going to start off the trend as we're heading through the next couple of hours. By the time we go into your afternoon, as I mentioned, some 70 chances are in the forecast. Mainly the upper 60s and low 70s is what you can expect, alongside some mostly sunny skies. You'll start off the day with more partly cloudy. The middle of the day will be mostly sunny, and by the time you're rounding out the afternoon, you'll be looking at sunny skies, which will continue all throughout your Thursday. A pretty great forecast is in store for today. We'll have sunrise at 7:03 this morning, and the sun will set at 5:30 later this evening. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. A judge granted a request by Diddy Combs to speed up his appeal. Arguments could be heard as soon as next spring. Combs was sentenced to more than 4 years in prison after being convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. His lawyers argued the normal appeals process could take too long because Combs was roughly has 2.5 years left to serve after the 13 months he already served in jail, awaiting and during trial. Reaction is pouring in around the political world after the death of former Vice President Dick Cheney. His family says he died from complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. CBS's Bradley Blackburn reports.
The flags above the White House were lowered to half-staff in honor of former Vice President Dick Cheney.
I know the president is aware of the former vice president's passing.
Cheney helped shape Republican politics for decades, but following the January 6th assault on the Capitol, he and his family became sharp critics of President Trump.
He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power.
That earned him admiration from many Democrats, including Congresswoman and New Jersey governor candidate Mikey Sherrill.
At that time, when it really mattered the most, he stood up, and I really respected that.
At the Capitol, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson praised Cheney's lifetime of service.
Scripture is very clear. We give honor where honor is due, and someone who gave their life, loved their country, loved serving their country in so many capacities.
In a statement, former President George W. Bush said he counted on his running mate for his honest, forthright counsel, and he never failed to give his best. Cheney's family said he was a great and good man who taught his children and grandchildren to love our country and to live lives of courage, honor, love, kindness, and fly fishing. Cheney's career was defined by September 11th and the War on Terror, greatly expanding the vice president's role in the White House.
You know, for most of American history, vice presidents were irrelevant. But when we think of a powerful vice president, when we think of a partner in governing, Dick Cheney is the one that comes to mind.
Dick Cheney was 84 years old. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Cheney participated in the vice presidential debate at Center College in Danville in 2000. Governor Andy Beshear ordered flags be lowered to half-staff in honor of Cheney. In Washington, a potential agreement to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies appears to be gaining traction. A 4-member bipartisan group of House lawmakers announced an outline for how to potentially expand the subsidies. A potential deal could end the ongoing government shutdown, which is now in day 36, the longest in history. The deal would extend subsidies for 2 years, but also include certain eligibility caps and guardrails. Enrollment is now open for 2026 coverage through Kentucky's Affordable Care Act marketplace known as Connect. But health advocates say many families are experiencing sticker shock. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, premiums have risen by about 17%, an average increase of $181 for Kentucky families. The hike comes as Congress remains deadlocked over whether to extend federal health insurance tax credits.
I'm hearing a lot of just really frank, practical conversation about what folks' budgets look like and whether or not they can afford to take that risk to be uninsured. And for most folks, they can't.
Advocates urge families to review their options before automatically re-enrolling and remind them that the deadline to sign up for coverage starting January 1st is December 15th. Well, it was a big night for Democrats in key races across the country, with candidates projected to win in New York City, New Jersey, and Virginia. A common theme in their victory speeches, the candidates seeing the wins a mandate for a change and a push towards the future. Voters are also expected to approve California's Prop 50, the Democratic governor's measure to redraw the state's congressional maps. All the while, President Trump is weighing in. CBS's Jared Hill has more from New York.
An election night sweep for Democrats. In New York City, Zohran Mamdani, a 34-year-old Democratic socialist, is set to become the Big Apple's first Muslim mayor.
Tonight, you have delivered a mandate for change.
Next door in New Jersey, voters propelled Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill to the governorship after a tight race.
The future is now. Roll up your sleeves, let your passion flow. The country we carry in our hearts is waiting.
History made in Virginia. Former Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger is projected to become the Commonwealth's first woman governor.
Virginia chose pragmatism over partisanship.
On the other side of the country, California voters overwhelmingly appear to have approved Governor Gavin Newsom's Prop 50, a plan to temporarily redraw the state's congressional map to favor Democrats, a response to efforts by Republicans in Texas and other red states at the request of President Trump.
We need to see other states meet this moment head on as well, to recognize what we're up against in 2026.
CBS News exit polls show that for many voters, the economy and President Trump played a big role.
I think this vote, even though it's a local election, could have major impacts on how the two major parties have control across the country.
Overnight on social media, President Trump said pollsters blamed the GOP losses in part on the history-making government shutdown and posted this cryptic message. And so it begins. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
President Donald Trump also called on Senate Republicans to change the rules in order to push through voter reform and his other agenda priorities. Candidates can start filing for 2026 races in Kentucky today, and the filing deadline is January 9th. There are several key races we'll be watching next year, including the race to fill Senator Mitch McConnell's seat, along with congressional races and many local offices. Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley says he will not seek re-election in 2026. Mosley has served in the role for more than 1 decade, leading the country through challenges like floods, fires, and the Black Jewel crisis. He says his decision comes after months of prayer and reflection. He posted this video to social media.
I trust the Lord's guidance in our lives, and I assure you that I'm at peace with this decision. As you know, public service is ingrained in my fiber. I do believe that I have a lot more to give of myself in this arena in 2026, 2027, and beyond.
In the social media video, Mosley thanked his family and county staff for their support and said he plans to finish key projects, including a new wellness center and broadband expansion, before his term ends. Well, it appears another Eastern Kentucky judge executive will not run for re-election. Pike County Judge Executive Ray Jones also told the Appalachian News Express that he won't seek re-election. He didn't respond to our request for comment. Jones is in his second term and was a state senator for several terms before becoming judge executive in 2019. The number of adults in their late 40s getting screened for colorectal cancer is skyrocketing. This comes after the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force changed its guidelines, recommending screening for people ages 45 to 49. Research published in JAMA found after the change, the number of adults in that age group getting screened jumped tenfold, with the biggest increases among women and white patients.
We are looking at some partly cloudy skies to start off your day. Overall, not too bad on satellite and radar. However, as we go through the next couple hours, cloud cover will be diminishing, looking at mostly sunny skies in the early afternoon and sunny skies taking over in the evening hours. Now, in terms of the temperatures, we're still all across the board in terms of what you can expect. Most folks, though, are sitting in the upper 30s and low 40s. There are a couple folks a little bit warmer than that, but still a relatively cooler start to your day before a warmer end. We're looking at high temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. So this afternoon will definitely feel warm, but we are looking at some elevated wind gusts throughout the day, which could help cool you down just a little bit if you don't like seeing that 70-degree mark. High temperatures for today will be as you're going into about that 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock time frame. Again, looking at mostly sunny skies throughout the day, dry from any chances of the rain, and that trend will continue into your Thursday. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan, and thank you for getting your day started with us on Mountain News this morning at 6:10. Coming up, a Kentucky mother wants a new law passed that would limit cell phone usage while driving. We've got those details when we return.
A bad experience.